Welcome to BoxCars, Warmachine and Hordes supplementary podcast for Warroom PL YouTube channel.
Hi everybody to BoxCars podcast. It's first part. I'm Marcin. My nickname is Frita, and I play war games for almost 25 years. And most of this time I play competitively because that's who I am. It makes most of fun going to tournaments and getting beaten by people. Sometimes win some games, and so I like that very much. And for Warmachine and Hordes, I play since February 2016, so not a very long time. Rafał, tell us something about yourself.
Okay, my name is Rafał, nickname Krawat. I play, I don't know how long, 15 years maybe. Started with 40k, then went to Battle, then went to Flames of War, and then to Warmachine. I was the first one that switched to Warmachine from Flames of War, and
then it began.
Convinced. Yeah.
Converted unbelievers.
Yeah, to the true real lord of wargaming. Exactly. And I started to play, I think, in January. I think I bought first models in December last year, like Earthshaker, Earthbreaker, and Galleon, because I played Mercs. Yeah. Mainly for almost a year. And I remember my first tournament, 3 games, 2 top Polish players played against me, both from the ETC 2015, and one pasted me in 5 minutes and the other in 3. That was something that I learned. But the first game I almost won. Everybody knows that winning in Warmachine is not easy.
The first big tournament you will mostly probably remember. I will remember mine. It was Polish Nationals, where I got beaten within 5 minutes maybe, without losing any models. Lost scenario 5-0.
Yeah. The lovely killbox.
Yes, and I learned the importance of remembering killbox and importance of scenario gaming. Yeah, but it's different in Warmachine that there is a scenario gaming in most games, but here it's really important.
Yeah, the funny thing was that when he lost on killbox on the second round, I think it was second, yeah. And I lost the same, and also on the killbox. So we are like twin brothers of the Warmachine beginners, all of them. My first tournament was in April, still Mark II, and first 3 games I lost on time. Then I switched my phone to get me a timer, 5 minutes call, and after that I never lost on time on the same tournament, so it was not so bad.
So, what the show will be about? So we'll try to give you some our general thoughts on Warmachine. We'll talk some our tactics that we think about. We'll tell you about the tournaments we've been to, also the battles.
And the most important thing.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, your prep and personal insight into the Polish meta.
Exactly. One of the best metas in the world. Oh, maybe not the best, but one of the most competitive metas in the world.
That's for sure.
So, should we talk about the news now, or do we go straight to the Clog Con?
No, we'll go to the Clog Con. Okay. We traveled together to Clog Con.
You can listen for the news to other podcasts that talks about it.
Yeah, maybe next time we'll do some news section when we are better prepared, but we want to cover the Clog Con because we remember them quite freshly.
Yeah,
still,
exactly.
So it's good to talk about that right now.
Exactly. So
I bought the tickets.
Yeah, you booked the tickets, you booked the hotel, and
in April. I mean, the tickets in April. I think the funny story about the buying of the tickets was that Sancha wrote that there are testing the purchase the tickets, and I was so eager, so I bought them already, but the site was not on. So he wrote me, but we didn't switch on the site to buy the tickets, but you have managed to buy them somehow. We don't know how. So we are the first one to register. So we are both first and the second persons that bought the tickets before
before they were even for sale.
And then we booked the hotel. Yeah, exactly. So this is always something funny to talk about.
Yeah, so we both live close to the German border. So to get to Amsterdam, we had to cross Germany. It's about 8.5 hours drive, more or less. So we had a nice road trip. A lot of talking about Warmachine.
Yeah, dojoing.
And and we arrived in the evening to the hotel, and the hotel itself is pretty big. There are a lot of different rooms, and we went on after booking in. We went for a search. Where is the Warmachine happening?
Yeah, nobody knows. It was 1,000 rooms, I think, in the hotel. Because I think I saw the number 8999, and then there was something more, I think, so like 1,000 rooms in the hotel. But we managed to find it quite easily, because we just went downstairs, and near the toilet was the Warmachine venue, or the hall of Warmachine.
Yeah, the hall it was huge. I mean, it was maybe 150 people total, but it could easily fit twice or 3 times that many people. So it was lots of space. Positively, it wasn't so loud, and
air conditioning, of course.
Air conditioning. So the venue itself was perfect. You wake up
perfect
in the
for
morning.
playing.
Perfect for playing. You wake up in the morning. You go eat breakfast, then you go downstairs. You play games. You have lunch in between in the room next to the gaming room. And then go back play games, and in the evening you can go to a hotel restaurant, or I don't know, 5 maybe restaurants that were on the other side of the road. So very good venue, and I hope that next year it will be the same venue, or maybe a venue like it.
Yeah, it was great. I think the best venue that I ever had. We were in several tournaments, honestly, including several towns etc. But it was never as good as this time.
Exactly.
So shall we start to talk about the tournament that we first participated in, our last chance qualifier?
Yeah, let's talk about this. So
Marcin, you go first.
I can go first. So in the morning,
because you were better.
Okay, let's call it this. Okay, on the LCQ, I think I had 3-1. So that wasn't so bad for a almost beginner. And so in the morning we set up streaming on one. So I streamed one game and I recorded all my games, and you can see those games on Warroom PL on YouTube. And so the first game we played Outlast. So the scenario with 2 circular zones. And my 2 lists were Striker 2 and Haley 3. So my list, on my 2 lists I used on both tournaments. They have changed just slightly. So it's Major Prime Victoria Haley with Haley Pass and Haley Future. And in their battle group they had lots of chargers. 3 chargers in the battle group and Grenadier. And between the LCQ and Masters I changed it to 4 chargers because Grenadier is great. It has bigger power and theoretically 1 rate of fire more, but you have to really be aware of the placement. So and often I was out of range. Those 2 inches range were crucial, or out of position, so I couldn't benefit from my trenchers. So I just said I wanted to keep it simple and don't waste time on the Grenadier. So I switched to 4 chargers in the battle group. What is interesting, I didn't take Torn because I felt like it's not crucial for this list, and he is useful on times, but I didn't put my tactics on spellcasting. I was more like face smashing and shooting in this list. So going on, it's Journeyman Warcaster, also with Charger, 2 Arcane Tempest Riflemen, Ragman, Alten Ashley, Gun Mage Captain Adept, Anastasia Debray, Alexia 1 with the Risen, and Trencher Infantry 4. So this was the first list, and the second list was Striker 2, and he had in his battle group all Rowdy and Ironclad. And I had also Journeyman with Firefly, and Major Catherine Leathermore, Runewood, Stormblade Captain, Rupert Carvolo, and 2 full units of Stormlands. So that was my striker list, and I used the same list on both TQ and Masters. And I was against Legion. My opponent had Apollonia 1 and Lily 3, and I was really afraid that he would take Lily. I mean, actually, I was pretty sure he would take Lily 3 and just smash my face.
Shoot the cavalry.
And shoot the cavalry off the table. I mean, I played that matchup a couple of times, and it never went well. I mean, I think I played against Lily 3 times and lost 3 times. And I thought he would take Lily 3 and just shoot my cavalry. But no, he was nice and he took Apollonia 1. And I don't know, still had he had that Proteus that was like some crazy threat ranges with Apollonia. And but I will tell that generally how the matchup went. So in the 5th round, I started, so I claimed some board space with Striker. I created 4th Striker with cavalry pumped in the front with Arcane Shield and Jax before Striker. And his 5th round, he says, "Oh, maybe I can kill Striker." And that wouldn't be nice.
That's a lovely part. Yeah, everybody wants to hear that. Okay, so now I kill you, Captain.
Yeah, exactly. And I am just, oh, god damn it! What did I do? And he says, "Yeah, I've got 16 inches threat range on Proteus, and I can pull your Jax from Striker, in front of the Striker, and then I can try to kill the Striker." And I'm just, come on, first game, and lost in 2nd round already. But in the end, he measures some, and it comes out that he will not be able to pull out the Jax because they were base to base, and the angle didn't fit. So
yeah, this is quite popular. I mean, it's not so easy.
It's not so easy, exactly. I mean, he recognized this earlier than me. I was sweating on the other side, hoping that he will not manage it. But he saw that earlier, and he went for attrition and started attacking my cavalry a bit, and then covered himself so I cannot retaliate, and went into the zones. And then I think, okay, I will not, because he used the cloud to hide himself, and there is some terrain blocking woods in the middle. So I say, I'll try to go for scenario. That's what I do. I clear one zone, and I thought I can score with Striker, but then I decided I don't want to risk Striker another round in a row, because he had a flying Orbis. I forgot was the one that has apparition. It has 21 threat range, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that.
So I had to put Striker outside of the zone, and I said I need to kill that Warbeast, and then I can claim the zone. So I scored only 1 in this round, and put some stuff in the zone so he cannot score. So in his round, I was pretty lucky because he didn't manage to clear the zones, any of them. And one was pretty heavily guarded with my cavalry, but in the other one I just put a couple of models, and I was hoping this will keep him busy, and probably I will not be able to hold it, but I was lucky enough he didn't kill everything. He didn't score, and then next round I cleared the zones again and scored, and then killed his long threat range beasts, and in the end I won on scenario 5-4. So Striker won the day.
Okay. My two lists were General Osrum and Capitan Bartolo Montador. First with Bart, because it's much easier to explain. It was Bart, double galleon. The list was Kingmaker, so I could use the Rangers, so it was a unit of Rangers to increase the chance of hitting with galleons. +2 is really big. 7 instead of 5 is really crucial for using the galleons for shooting. Then I got small boom howlers to occupy the zones and try to ambush something, maybe get some points. And 2 solos. It was Ori Midwinter and Dirty Meg. And I think, just give me a second, I think that was all. The second list was General Ostrom, that I really like a lot, but I'm still I have a hard time finding a good pair. So I play Ostrom most of the time, and I find the second list, it was before Bartolo with 1 galleon, now it's 2 galleons. But I will switch it anyway. So General Ostrom was 7 gun bunnies, 1 spray bunny as a battle group, also Reinhold as an attachment to get some stealth tech, anti-stealth tech, 2 units of artillery, Horgenhold artillery corps, 2 small units of hammer dwarves, really great for counter-attacks, and with the feet they can threaten really, really long with Pathfinder and speed of 7. And some solos. It was Kael Balor, additional damage, sure damage, 6 points per turn. Then Iris 2. I like her a lot, really much more than Iris 1, because Iris 1 is such a high priority target that it's usually that everybody tries to kill it, and Iris 2 can with the purgation and weapon master and assault, can threaten quite longer range than Iris 1. I had Tarin de la Rovisi. It was my tech against Colossals to get some CK to shadow fire the Colossal or anything big, and then try to kill the caster behind it. And also Black Pen is always useful to free the gun bunnies. And I think that was all. So those were my 2 lists. Okay.
Tell your game.
Okay, so my first game in the LCQ was it was the Outlast, so the same one. I played against Ouroboros. I'm not sure if it was. I don't think. Yeah, it was Wormwood. Yeah, it was a nice guy from Netherlands. I don't remember the name. I didn't check that, so sorry for that. But he was, I think, even more of the beginner than me because. During the game, I completely controlled one of my zones and scored quite easily 2 points each round. And he feeded very defensively too far away and out of. Really didn't matter at all. So it was like 30 minutes game, and the General Ostrom did what he did does the best. So he shoots out. By the way, my list were at the tournament. General Ostrom with gun bunnies, and the second list was Bartolo double galleon in the Kingmaker team force with the Rangers and Boomhowlers for ambush. So it was quite a fast game, honestly, and a good start, but turns out that the good start doesn't always mean that there will be a good end. So now too much in game 2.
Yeah, my game too. So this time I had Crix against me, and it was a very nice guy, Pim, who played it. And
I think from France.
Yeah, exactly. So I chose Haley 3 because I already tried Striker once against Coven, and it wasn't. I won back then, but it was out of luck. Although afterwards we talked, and maybe Striker would be the better choice. But anyway, I chose Haley 3, and the scenario was entrenched. And in my Haley 3 list, I've got like tons of shooting. I've got the trenchers who do cloud wall, so the Crix could not do his alpha too heavily. And I got 4 chargers, 1 grenadier in this. So that was the setup, and I had also Alexia in the Risen. She's another hand cannon. So this is a lot of shots, and I was just removing him wholesale off the table. But the problem is it took me a lot of time. So in the end. After the attrition went, the scenario wasn't even a possibility for any of us at that point. But in the end, I had maybe Haley.
You had half an army, and he had like
maybe in
two
this
girls.
game. In this game, I think I had like 25% of my army still on the table, and he had only his caster, and his caster was escaping all the time, and I was missing like maybe 3 minutes to finish it off, and I lost on time. So we'll probably talk in one of the podcasts how to play faster, because I have to learn that. Some technical things to do, not to lose on time, and maybe in this game in the end, instead of attritioning his, because I've done a commentary on that game, and I saw the point where continuing with attrition made no more sense, because he had like
but the attrition for us is like a normal issue, because we played the different game for such a long time, and it was always one on attrition at the end.
Attrition was the primary win condition. So I fixated myself, I think last 5 or 6 minutes on attrition, instead of switching on a scenario. I should have put Haley in my own zone and just do 15 seconds turns. He could not have killed me.
Switch the clock.
And switch the 15 seconds, switch the clock. I score 1, he's got 25% of my army in his zone, he cannot score. So he puts something in my zone, I kill it, switch clock again, and like this, in last 3 minutes I could have won this game. But I noticed that on the video that I'm just going after his models that make no difference anymore, and just wasting time killing them instead of. But this is a thing to learn, and I think I've learned it. I don't know if I will. Next time it will come up if I will fixate or not, but I will try to remember that.
It's not easy to forget.
Exactly.
How to switch the game. I mean.
So that.
Okay, my second game was. My second game was against.
1-1 after that.
Yeah. So my second game was against the Protectorate. It was Resnick 2. I played Bart, so double galleon, and I was lucky because it was the entrenched, so I got an objective, and my objective was the magical weapons on one model, so it was of course one of the galleons, and he had Avatar of Menot and 4 jacks, I think double choir, and some solos or something like that. So maybe one unit of the, not the Daughters of Daughters of the Flame that were going around, I remember. So I don't play often against Menot. I don't have much experience. I never played against Resnick. So I just bunker up both of the galleons, parked them together on my zone, and wanted to start scoring with the Rangers coming forward and marking targets for the galleons. One was shooting at the choirs and killing the guys. The second one with the magical weapons was shooting on the jacks. And at the beginning, I was afraid that it will be, I will be out-threat and I will lose the galleon and then maybe the second one. But it seems that I managed to kill quite easily the 2 shield guards, because he had this unit with the 2 shield guards.
Rowan and Co.
Rowan and Co. Yeah, exactly. And managed to pull one jack and kill that. And it opened me somehow mentally how to proceed with the game. So one galleon went forward to push into his zone, so to stop him scoring. Also, the boom howlers came from ambush and managed to finish damage jack. So the zone was mine. He had to park his Resnick there. My second galleon, he couldn't kill my objective because he didn't have much shooting. So I managed to kill another jack, and he had Avatar of Menot, Resnick, and like one more jack that was damaged. But I was, with my total stupidity, I remember podcast were saying about that, talking about that caster does not contest the zone. So I was eager, and I went out with my second galleon forward to pull something in, and I pulled it in, left my caster in the zone, happy that I'm protected. And what he did, he ran with Resnick around my galleon and into the zone, and with Avatar of Menot he killed my objective, and he won. He scored 3 points in one go and win that. And it was only because he managed to get the free strike. To win the game, he had to pass through the Galleon melee range and get a free strike. But I fucked it up and didn't roll double ones and didn't hit the Resnik on the big chariot. So if I did hit him, he will be dead because I managed to damage him with the Galleon and he had like 4 or 3 boxes left, so it was really stupid loss.
It's always painful.
Yeah.
But I always say the game is won or lost often on one roll.
Yeah. This is our proverb. Yeah, from old times. Yeah, this is always at one roll of 4+. Yeah. But in this game it will be 7+, I think, or something like that.
Probably.
So anyway, so the list was okay. I played okay. I just fucked up at the end. So that's life. So I was 1-1 after that.
Yeah, so we both 1-1. So we are no longer in Cool Kids Club.
No longer. Definitely not.
So game 3, it was Recon. So with one rectangular zone in the middle. And I was paired against Johan, and he had Scorn. And I played against Scorn a few times, not so many times, but a few times. And Striker 2 always had the upper hand in those matchups. So I chose Striker 2. Also, Striker most experienced. When I'm not sure, I always choose him. And Makeda 2, she's got some tricks. I mean, he had a build with a lot of kitties. I think I had 2 cavalries and he had
double
2 cavalries, double pharaohs. Kit Kats, how they call them. Kit Kat.
And he had the Ferox guy also.
Yeah. I can't remember if I started or he started, but the game went to, I was somewhere in the middle, up the board, when I built my striker fort, so he cannot jump behind my first line, but he's got so crazy threat ranges that I cannot out-threat him. So I know I will have to eat alpha or some kind of alpha from him, and then I will first retaliate. But he decided to play it safe, and instead of throwing all the kitties on me and killing my first front row of my cavalry, he just throws at me few of the kitties and blocks me. And at that point, I knew that Makeda 2 has that stay death ability, but I didn't know how it combines with that those cats has tough or get tough from the solos, and they've got dodge and they are steady. So each time you kill them, first they roll tough. If they
don't have dodge, they have tough.
No, they've got dodge from a guy from the solo. So if you don't hit them, they can just go and go away. Just move 2 inches. So if you don't hit them, they can change position. If you hit them and kill them, they can tough. If they tough, they are not knocked down. And if they don't tough, Makeda can then stay deaf them. So I mean, it was just a couple of models blocking me, and I knew I need to that round needs to be a fit round from Striker. But before I could move on with my cavalry, I had to kill one cat like 9 times. I think this is pretty crazy, and I'm not.
Of course, he will be that if you had the grievous wounds, so like Alton Ashley or something. But in the best.
Yeah, but people are saying that grievous wounds are everywhere, but that's not true. I mean, Alton Ashley can be, but putting Alton Ashley would in my list of striker, I would have to remove some other solo that's important and probably more important. So I had to kill the guy 9 times, but after I've done it was much easier. So I removed the cats that were blocking my lines, and striker fitted, and everything went forward. So I did a charge into the cats and kill a few of them, and then feed attacks and kill a few of them. So after my second round, I think he was left with 3 cats and some bees. There was not much left for him to retaliate. He tried to fight, but another problem with Striker and his hit turn, it takes a lot of time. I don't remember exactly, but I think I waited half an hour for that because I was heavily blocked so that the figuring out how to unblock that gem he created combined with Striker's feet took me half an hour. So in the end I was winning. He was losing on attrition and I was winning on all fronts, but I was left like 3 minutes with 3 minutes on my clock. So Striker had to go in himself and kill Makeda. And luckily Makeda stayed deaf a lot of times, so she didn't have many transfers. And I think he didn't have any Warbeasts, or maybe he had just one. But I think...
He had 2 Warbeasts.
Yeah, okay. So Makeda had to stay deaf a lot of times, or cast some spells. But anyway, Striker went in and killed her with single blow, overpowered on 2 dice. I don't remember how high the strength was, but it was high enough. But when we finished, I think I had 1 minute and 15 seconds close to that on the clock. So luckily, Striker has a really crazy long threat range to do the work himself. So that was my game 3, and I was 2-1 after.
Okay. My game 3 was against Wormwood. It was a guy from nice Norwegian guy. He had Wormwood with Megalith, with I think the wolf with the spray. I think it's a pure blood, and he has 1 more wolf. I think feral. 1 unit of reefs and some, of course, 2 times mannequins, and 1 unit of shifting stones. And normally I'm dropping Ostrom into that, trying to survive the feed turn and not to lose on points, and then I just shoot the beast out of the table. But the game was not good for me. I mean, the table was pretty shitty for me. Just it was this 1 zone scenario, and in the middle of the zone, in the middle of the table, right in the center, was big forest. So he could hide it, and he created even more forest, and just he with the reefs he had 2 solo wolves that can run and charge afterwards and make attacks if there is an unit, or I mean if there is a model hit by the reefs. So with reefs he managed to kill 1 by 1 of my gun bunnies. So, and I couldn't do much because first he was out of range, and then, I mean, I was just with 1 bunny or 2 in range, then he fitted, and the game was really bad, going really bad for me on the attrition. I was losing gun bunnies. I couldn't do much because I fitted not in the correct time, also I think, if I remember correctly. But anyway, and he had Megalith, and Megalith was really pain in the ass for me because the Megalith animals is the difficult ground, rough terrain around the model, and I lost my feet earlier, so I couldn't charge him even with my hammered walls. I have 2 units off. So I was in no position, losing on scenario and losing on attrition, and I didn't have any chance. But he did make 1 mistake. He left a 3mm gap between his beasts that were covering a wormwood, I mean the tree itself. And I managed to, with energizers and everything else, and with help of some solos, I managed to get 1 artillery shot into the wormwood, and I think 2 or 3 shots from gun bunnies. And even though I left him on 1 box, so it was really close, and surprisingly close, because normally, if he didn't leave me any notch of the gap in between his forces, he would just have killed me in next turn or something like that. So it was really, if I would have pulled it off, it would be really, really lucky. But after the whole LCQ, I think the luck was not on my side. So the forest and and everything else was not there to be. So I lost the game, and I was 1-2.
Then we went for game 4 of the day. It was
quite late.
Yeah, it was quite late. true. And it was extraction scenarios, two flags. And I was paired against, I got a nickname, I don't know if the spelling would be Igemetor. And he had the circle, and he chose to play Wormwood. I guess the circle players very often use Wormwood against Signar. And I put a lot of thought in my Haley 3 list fighting against Wormwood, so I of course chose her. She's my Wormwood counter, circle counter. And the idea behind my tactic is here, keep calm, push forward with a cloud wall. He will get his round of wood, of his feet where he will put wood everywhere. But I've got Ghost Walk, I don't care, I will just walk forward, put a cloud wall and push him on. So that is what happens in this game. He goes forward, he creates his wood, it doesn't do anything. I mean, I don't shoot him, but he doesn't do much. He tries to kill my trenchers, succeeds because this crazy Hellmouth spell is crazy, but he just kills few of them because that spell is pretty costly, and he needs to boost to hit because Haley's trenchers have def 15, so it's not so easy to hit them. So anyway, the games evolves to the point where I push forward and I start slowly attritioning him. I kill off his Twigman, so he only can create one Twigman per round, so only one spray instead of 3 sprays. So his killing of my trenchers is going very slow. So he decides to push and go with his war beast into the clouds and trample and try to speed up the attrition. And maybe the Haley tree looks soft because I have just light vortex and I don't have so heavy counters in melee, but Haley herself, with the help of Ragman and Alexia, they can really put a lot of hurt into the opponents. So my counter is I take 3 of his beasts, 2 beasts and Megalith, and after this the game just rolls. I just push on, I take 1 flag, I kill his stones, and it's like I have 4 minutes on the clock and concede. It's only the 3 left on the table, even without Cassio gives up. So I finished the tournament with a score of 3-1, and I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, you were happy, and I was not. My last game was against the opponent of third game of Martin. So he was playing Makeda, and we were chatting, and we were not playing for anything. So he told me that he will be playing Makeda, and I told him, okay, I want to play Bard as much as possible because before the Masters tomorrow. So I dropped the Bard. That was, stupid, even more stupid than stupid. I was stupid. Whatever, noob to drop a Bard, because so what that he couldn't kill me by going around and killing Bard, because the 2 galleons are quite a big obstacle in the middle of the table. But I managed to see how the stay death works, and I didn't have any grievous wounds whatsoever. I had only 1 magical weapon, and it was except Bard, it was Ori Midwinter. So he just parked to the feral guys that I managed to kill 1 or 2 times or 3 times even. Each turn I killed him once with the Orin, and then he just stayed dead him back. So I couldn't do anything about that, and he was blocking my scoring, and he was scoring on his flag. And my 2 galleons were shooting his ferox and killing like 1 guy maybe, because he had quite high defense, and the galleons even standing. And with Ranger's help, it was not so easy. With the Kriya, he got this blast immunity, so health shot was not so helpful also. At the end, I managed to kill all the beasts. So he had Kriya, and he had also, the Mordicar beast. I don't remember the name. The spoiler. Okay, I reminded myself. So the spoiler. I killed them both because it was much easier to kill than the Ferox, but I didn't do much besides. So he got maybe 9 out of 10 Ferox and only lost the beast, and I lose only the boom howlers. They came from ambush and stopped him scoring for one turn, and several rangers, but the rest was quite okay. But still lost on scenario. But the game was lost during while I dropped the Bard because he didn't have enough volume of the attacks to kill the state deathing Ferox with Makida too. So I think Ostrom would have been much better dropping to that, and I know that now. So at least I learned something from the game. All in all, it was 1 win and 3 losses for me. So really shitty experience. I was not prepared for that. The funny thing was that I was so eager to play more that I asked Marcin to play one more game. Yeah. And I wanted to, because I took the third list with me, the Damiano list. It was not Kingmaker. It was a crazy high defense tech with Kayazi and Idrans and Snacho and Rongai. And he told me, I wanted to play a game to maybe try to, validate myself. And he took, of course, Haley, and he just killed me like in 7 minutes or something like that, because I couldn't do anything to the cloud wall. So it was really even, I went to bed even shitter mood.
Sorry about that.
This is funny because we talk about, no problem. But the funny thing is that we talk about Warmachine a lot. And even if we are not pairing so often, because we are not living in the same city, we dodge a lot Signar and Mercs. So Mercs are really in deep trouble against Cloud Wall. There are not so many anymore. But besides Exelon and maybe some very fast Jack heavy tech, there is not much answer to the Cloud Wall. So it was really, so I lost 4 games, even if the one doesn't count. So, and after that, it was the end of LCQ for us.
Yeah, exactly. So in the evening we went for dinner and then went to sleep.
Yeah.
In the morning, ate breakfast and went to Masters event, and we started, or in between the games, I purchased a new set of minion tokens for my minions, but that's aside. So the first game was I chose my striker too, because I was paired against Menot, and my opponent Gale, he chose Amon, and I chose striker too because I usually I feel very comfortable with striker 2 into Menot. I played this match or various matchups with striker 2 into Menot many times. I don't even mind that I cannot shoot them with my lances. Mostly I just get in and do charges and try to do lots of damage. So we played the incursion, so it's a scenario with 3 flags, and I position striker so I try to play for scenarios. I go second, and I position myself in my first round so I can do a charge that will clean the flags, or try to clean the flags in a second round so I can score. But it's not so. His Amon battle group is lots of jacks, and they are pretty hard to remove. But in my second round I feed and I charge in, and I do a lot of damage. I really removed like half or more than the half of his jacks, and lots of his support dies to electroleaps, and he's really wounded. So in his turn he feeds and has to do work with Amon to benefit from his feed. So he goes in, he killed O'Rowdy with help of Amon, and killed a lot of cavalry. I think I had like 2 or 3 cavalry models, and the game but then Amon stayed with 1 focus or no focus at all, so this was opening for striker. He, in the end of turn, he jumped with some of his support, but I cleared it easily with electroleaps, and 2 freed cavalry models charged in and killed them. I didn't even have to use striker so I won assassination. And then now your game 1.
Okay, my game 1 was against Trolls. It was Gunbjorn, or I don't remember what was the second list. I think Madrak too. He was hello.
Yeah.
His Gunbjorn list had Mountain King, Bomber, Winter Troll, Alten Ashley, Krillstone, and two Efarid Scouts, and maybe some solos, but I don't remember honestly. But mainly it was battle group heavy with Alten Ashley and two Efarids. We played 3 flags. I knew I have a problem with trolls. I cannot win with them usually because of various reasons. So my Bartolo list was special designed, let's say, to face and survive trolls. So I took the Bartolo list. Secret tech against trolls. And I won the roll-off. I chose to go first because I wanted to get as far as possible, as soon as possible. So, run forward first turn, then run forward the second turn the same, and occupied 2 flags with 2 colossals. He chose the side that he had an obstacle, so he had a little bit trouble maneuvering and getting anything. He into the charge into the one of the galleons. So he had a real mental problem with keeping his army offensive. He was really afraid of drugs and kept the beast quite far away, and that allowed me to get scoring really quickly, because with my very fast and aggressive movement, I put him on the defensive, so I got 2 galleons between 2 flags, and even more forward to his side. I got 2 solos onto and the rangers on 1 flag, 1 solo on the second flag, and he was occupying the first flag with Alten Ashley, but he positioned it incorrectly, so I could have charged with my ambushing boomhowlers. They killed Alten Ashley and also scored the point, so I got 3-0. And that was really it, because 3-0 in 3 flags is really devastating. He didn't recover from that. He tried to contest the flags with Bomber, but it was easily killed afterwards with the galleons. I don't even remember if I had to feed, because I was keeping that for the time if I was going for 1 or for 2, and wanted really to score the last point to win. So I'm not sure at all. But he made the mistake of sending the Mountain King after the boomhowlers and couldn't hit them because trolls cannot hit trolls. This was really funny, but it didn't change much. I outscored him 5-1, and it was really fast and easy game. But it was mainly won by in the mind of my opponent. He was too afraid of 2 colossals, and I think this is what won the game for me the most.
I think that's the best task of having 2 colossals.
Yeah, 15.
This is what I'm going to do against 2 colossals.
Yeah, it's like you've got like 5 activations, and you usually end the game with 25 minutes on the clock. This is also important. Okay, Marcin, now you.
So then we went to game 2, and it was recon, so one zone in the middle, and I got circle with Tom Guan, and he has like Wormwood and Una 2. So one best choice against another best choice, and I remember on the way to the Clog Con on the drive, we said, what are we going to do if Una 2 will show up? And I said then, nobody will have Una 2. She just came out. And, not only somebody had it, but of course it was Tom Guan that came, and of course I had to play him. So, but luckily for me, during that 8-hour drive, we had dodged a bit what we would do, and I was not only somebody brought it, but it was Tom Guan, and I had to play him. So
tough luck.
Tough luck. But the one good thing about it is I finally played Una 2, because I don't know if I would have so fast in our local meta. Nobody plays Circle, and nobody will for sure play Una. But on the way to the convention, we had those couple of hours, so we talked about what would we do. And I was thinking that you cannot attack them in melee, but you can still shoot them, and they are not very tough. They have low armor, so boosted power 12s from chargers should do the trick. The only thing is I will have to get some free strikes. And one important thing to do is to block them landing spots, so they cannot land next to your caster and they cannot land blocking your important stuff. So that's what I've done. I won the roll to begin, and I moved forward. I created in first turn smoke screen, smoke wall, and this was the first mistake I've done, because if you do that with Haley 3 in Recon against melee army, this means that you will not be able to cover with the smoke screen the objective next round. So he will have a viable target to charge, and because he's flying, he can charge to the other side of the objective and attack the objective and anything that is behind him.
So he used the new rule. I mean the
yes,
infernal ruling.
Yes. So that was my first round. Yes, I moved in and created a smoke screen, and then second round I moved forward and created another wall of smoke, but did not cover the objective. So he charged the objective with his 2 birds and killed my echoes, because I was so smart that I put echoes close to the objective. But a good thing about it, he jammed my front line because he didn't have landing spots anywhere deeper. So okay, I lost my echoes, but most of my chargers were free. The only things that were binded in melee was infantry. So what I do is I walk away with my infantry to have the birds free of melee bonus, and I go in and I start shooting. But I get so fixated in shooting these birds. In one round I actually managed to kill all 5 of these birds, but because I fixated myself so much on this, I actually forgot to jam the zone. So although I was decently up on attrition, I'm actually losing on scenario to Tom. And I made a lot of mistakes. I will make a commentary to that battle. That battle is now available on Warmachine on YouTube, so you can see the whole thing, how it went. And I will make a shorter version with commentary, just to see myself again doing those mistakes, so I hopefully don't do them again in the future. So I'm 1-on-1 after 1-1 after 2 games.
Okay, my second game was against Legion. It was Veil 2 and Apsilonia 2, I think. My opponent chose Veil 2. My Legion drop is Osrum normally, so I drop Osrum. I played several times against Legion, and usually they do not survive gun bunnies shooting them with the boosted attack rolls. So the scenario was 1 zone and 2 objectives to flags. I knew that I had to jump the zone not to lose too fast on scenario, and kill and shoot all the beasts. He had Scythian, he had I think the 3-headed beast. What is the name? Typhon? I think it's Typhon. He had also Carnivian and Slipstreaming beast. I don't remember the name. Scythian is the melee beast, and he had, I don't remember what was the name of the slipstream, the one that has animals of slipstream.
I'll look it up.
Okay. So, and he had some solos, and that's all mostly. I knew that Veil has really crazy threat ranges with the magic assassination. So the first thing, my army went forward, and my caster went back and parked almost by the edge of the board, and even far, even more to the back was the Reinhold, because I knew it would be a very important piece of the game, so I had to cover him really properly.
Sorry, Seraph.
The gun bunny.
Seraph is the
Seraph it was.
one
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah. He chose the side, and he took the side with because he won the roll-off, even though I have Anastasia Bray in my list, and this is the last solo that I forgot. So even if I got the Anastasia, but he rolled me off, so he chose the side with the trench near the zone, so he could park there and survive one turn of shooting. So he flew in, I think it was turn 2, into the trench and left one beast outside, and it was the Scythian. And it was his major mistake, because if I kill him, he don't have a slipstream, so his threat range is quite shortened. And this is what I do. I concentrate forward firepower, let's say, into the Scythian. He pops up and dies. Then I start shooting the Carnivian and damage him quite hard. Park one of the spray bunny in front of the beast in the middle of the zone, and some hammer dwarves also run forward to jump the space, not to allow him to assault to charge me easily. But I was surprised, because he didn't charge me at all. He decided to stay into in the trench and spray me with some sprays, and try to kill the gun bunny and the hammer dwarves. He manages to damage the spray bunny and to, I think, kill half of the hammer dwarves, or 3 out of 6. But my next turn, I concentrate again the firepower and kill the Carnivian, and kill also the beast with the 3 heads, the Typhon. Honestly, it seems that the guy didn't have really much of idea how to knock the Ostrom, but due to the immense amount of shooting, I was losing. I mean, not losing, but I was really way back on the time. I had like 7 minutes or something. So I had an idea that I will have to start scoring if he decides to run away with Veil. But he was so nice that he moved the Veil forward to get the chance for the transfer and things like that. So he hid behind one beast and an objective. And this is when my super secret Tarin Tef came into play. Tarin got sniped from Ostrom, moved 6 inches forward, shoot from 14 inches, and shadow fired both the beast and the objective. And the remaining spray gun bunnies and artillery smashes the Veil to the ground, and this is the win. All my Legion's games with Ostrom are usually the same. I played against, I think, 7 or 8 casters already, and usually, I think, I think I didn't lose any game, I think, against Legion in Mark III with Ostrom, because maybe the closest one was against Apsilonia 2, when the guy really charged me in, but counter-charge from Hammer Dwarves and bulldozing gun bunnies allowed me to free myself and to shoot him to death. So I am 2-0, and it's looking good, much better than yesterday.
The casters from Legion are pretty squishy.
Yeah.
Alright, so we went to game 3, and I was 1-1, so I'm no longer in Cool Kids Club. And game 3 was entrenched with 2 rectangular zones. I played Troll. The player was Michiel, and he had a Doomy 2 list and Madrak 2, I think. And I was really afraid he would take Madrak 2, because my lists are mostly infantry. So I would have really... I never played against Madrak 2, so I didn't know if I can manage the positioning right, not to get charged by him and start pac-manning my whole forces. So, but he was nice enough to choose Doomy 2. And I remember you told me, if you see Doomy 2 and if you see Rook in that list... Rock, yeah. That means Rock has to die. If you want to survive, Rock has to die. So,
because he can kill the army by himself.
Exactly. So I just fixated myself. That guy needs to die, whatever happens. And so he puts Rook into the trench. So he's defense 16, I think, or he's 11, basically. Defense 15 then in the trench. I can't remember the defense, but for sure he was in the trench. So I have to concentrate a lot of firepower to take him down. But in the end, I managed to kill that beast in one turn. So the biggest threat to my army is gone, and Haley just continues the grind. So he pushes the beast toward me, but he cannot charge me because of the cloud wall, and I just shoot them off the table one by one. And when he's close, I countercharge with Alexia, and Haley passed, finished the job. I think in the end it's just his caster and a couple of the guys from the stone unit, and I shoot the caster down, and the final shot belongs to one of the snipers. I said we'll do it in style. So the sniper,
signal style.
Yeah, signal style. So the sniper takes down Doomy too. So Haley 3-1 on assassination, but actually I could have pushed it towards a scenario or attrition or whatever, because he didn't have after losing Rock, he didn't have any good way to play it, because he had to come to me and I had it under control to shoot him down.
Okay. My third game is opposite of my first game. So in the first game I won because the opponent was afraid what to do against two Colossals. And in my third game I played against Kriegs. It was Coven, never played against that. The list had Satixis Raiders, 2 Jacks, Death Jack and Slayer I think. 3 units of cavalry, 2 small units of the heavy cavalry, Bane Raiders, and 1 light unit of light cavalry, I don't remember the name, the light cavalry, there is only 1 Kriegs, and I really had no idea what to do. So honestly, I can come to the end. I lost because I lost mentally the game before it started. I was so happy that I won 2 times that, okay, 1 loss is not such a bad thing. So it was really a bad decision to think like that. But anyway, he started very quiet. He played Coven, so he moved forward fast, just like running all the army. I popped some with Kel Bailoch and Snipe Kel Bailoch. I popped, I think, 1 rider. The second rider was finished with the artillery from one side. So and with help of Iris, so I killed 2 heavy cavalries on the left side of the board. And what I did, the mistake, I think in the first turn I fitted and tried to kill his light cavalry. And I used my feet, honestly, just to kill like 2 or 3 cavalry guys. So he had 2 left, or I think even 3. And it was really a big mistake to fit at this time. I just fitted to get some extra movement, not to use my defensive armor bonus or anything else. But anyway, it happened. Next turn, he jumped my army with Satixis Raiders and light cavalry. His Bane Riders were more to the back, so he didn't manage to get into the range. And this was the time, because he ran into me, mostly. So this is the time that I should have used the feat to get out of the melee with bulldozing and things like that. But anyway, I didn't have a feat anymore, so I had to organize it somewhere else. But this is when my army showed his strength against Kriegs. I used bulldoze to position the Satixis Raiders, and he fitted, of course. I used the bulldoze to position the Satixis Raiders into the spray bunny line. I sprayed, I think I killed 3 or 4, even with the additional defense bonus from the, lowering of my rat from the feet. I used my hammer dwarves to unjam my gun bunnies from the Satixis Raiders, and I had really lucky rolls with that, but I managed to unjam most of them, and my whole army concentrated on cavalry, because I know if they could charge me, they could finish me. So with the help of Tarin, the Larovizi, and even the caster and some artillery, I managed in 1 turn to kill I think 7 Satixis Raiders and whole cavalry. So 1 unit, and the second, the light cavalry, I finished to the end. I also finished the other cavalry, so he had left 4 Satixis Raiders, his Coven, and 2 Jacks, but they were in the back. So the things were looking good, but this turn took me like 25 minutes, so I got like 20 or maybe 15 minutes on the clock. Next turn, he charged forward and tried to kill some gun bunnies. and I think he managed to kill one or two with his jacks and try to kill some hammer dwarfs with Satexis Raiders. But then I did a rinse and repeat, so I also counter-charge and shoot with Black Penny from Talendar Arvisi the Satexis Raiders and finish them off. I killed the Death Jack. I went in and assaulted with Iris the objective, but I didn't manage to kill it, even with 3 attacks and assault shot. 2 attacks and assault shot, and his army was a Coven and a Slayer, and I think 1 Satexis at the back or something like that. And I had like 4 or 5 gun bunnies and half of my hammer dwarfs, 1 artillery. So it was really looking good on the attrition, but on the time I had only 3 minutes left. And he just outclocked me at the end because he started to withdraw with the Slayer, and this is the end. The game can be seen on the page 5 channel on YouTube, so you can see how I lost some time. But honestly, next time I know how to play this game, this matchup. So it would be if I concentrate and I play faster, and if I decide to fit in the proper time, it will be quite okay matchup for the Ostrom. I think that both Kriegs and Legion are similar. To play against them is to use the similar tactic. You can unjump yourself with the bulldoze and then shoot them to death. And I think this is also will be the Una Tutech. If he jumps me with his Griffons, then I can unjump myself with
bulldoze will help you. But I think you will not throw Una 2 against.
Maybe Wormwood.
Wormwood will be.
Or maybe they will nerf the Wormwood before I play it against the net. So.
Yeah, for sure. This is possible. The thing. Losing on time against Kriegscoven seems to be a thing.
Yeah, because it's really hard to kill them.
Yeah, I mean, and the players are skilled to play on time. Well.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was your game 3. So you are 2-1 after that.
So we are at the same level, I would say.
We are both 2-1, and then game 4. And game 4 is actually our ninth game in 2 days. Yeah. So I am pretty tired already. But I think that's the last game. I'm not anywhere near the finish or top level. So it should be fine, and I get Kriegs again, Coven, surprise, so I take Haley 3, and first I win the roll, and I start, and first thing I do, I move my trenchers, create the clouds, and like used to be in Mark II, and I notice, god damn it, I forgot to activate Haley, to give them tactical supremacy to get out of those clouds. And I asked my opponent, come on, can I do it because I'm pretty tired and it was a stupid mistake. But he says no, it's a tournament, so I tricked myself just at the beginning, but it goes on the whole game. I made dozen mistakes in between. For example, I fitted with Haley. I moved Haley Pass and Haley Major Haley, but I forgot to move Haley Future, so she stayed like on 6 focus, doing nothing. But she could have, for example, revived my trenchers instead. But why? I just left her on 6 focus because I was really tripped doing so many mistakes in one game. But just although I've done lots of mistakes, Haley 3 is like this, that she'll get out from biggest trouble. Even if you make mistakes, she will forgive you for this. And in the end, I killed all his army, and I have half of my army staying on the table. The only issue was that I didn't have any time to finish him off. God damn it again. It was, I don't know, I noticed it like it was 7 minutes on the clock, and then it was 3 minutes on the clock, and I was killing his army, and it was all over again the day before. Instead of playing on scenario and getting onto the flag, my Haley, because it was taken hold with 2 flags. So instead of getting Haley to my own flag and scoring, just kill his army, and I'm all in a killing mood. And I got Haley passed and Alexia. on his caster, and I had like two rounds of attacking them. I could not hit the even with boosts.
Okay.
So
yeah, because they are defense 16s, I think.
Yeah,
and they were behind the wall, I think.
Yeah, and next round I moved behind the wall, but it was a bit hectic. The end was hectic because I was trying to do it fast to do it in time, but they had focus on them, etc. If it was somewhere, if I had like 10 minutes on a clock, I could have engineer some spells to throw them, throw something on them, or do it properly. But because it was like 2 minutes left, I don't remember exactly, but it was very low time, so I was trying to roam my way through killing them.
Yeah, we tried. We played the same that we played in our other game. So we tried to kill to kill the army, but it seems that it's not always a wise decision.
So instead, he didn't even have anything to contest the flag. So if I just stayed with Haley on the flag, put stuff around her so she's safe from killed, I could have won that on the scenario. But instead of that, I decided I can lose it on time. So I lost it on time, and it was 2-2 after the tournament. But it was important things to learn. To play faster against Coven and generally play faster, and when the time is tight and your opponent is almost gone and you have like 2 minutes, then taking maybe 15 seconds turns
just
to score and block off your caster and do nothing, stay on high camp and stop trying to kill your opponent and start scoring is the right choice to do. So that was my last game.
Okay, my last game was against Retribution of Syra. It was, I don't remember the second guy, I think it was Ocean. I like to play Ocean because I usually kill him, but he dropped Lich Lord Elara, so Elara 2. He had a unit of Sentinels with UA, he had a unit of Mage Hunter Assassins, I think. He had 2 solos, those ones that have 4-inch reach. He had Phoenix, the Jack Phoenix. He had Banshee.
Mage Hunter.
No, not Mage Hunter Assassin. Yeah. Yes, the solos. Yeah.
Yes.
He had not Banshee but Discordia, and I think some Arcanists. I never played against Lich, against Elara 2, but I knew that she's really fast and she. Yeah. I mean, she has a sighting touch. Okay, so it's like Kriegs. So I knew it was really similar to my Kriegs game. So I knew that he will be flying at me really fast. So he flew at me at the first round with everything. I just positioned myself, and because it was 2 flags, so it was a kill box. So I knew that Osram has to go forward, and he doesn't like that at all. So I built the Osram fortress with my gun bunnies, and Osram was behind that. So second turn, he jumped most of my gun bunnies with. He had also this Moros, the light warjack that has stealth. So he jumped my gun bunnies with his unit of Mage Hunter Assassins or whatever, and the unit of melee guys, and two solos, and he with Moros also. Close behind that was Phoenix and Discordia and Sentinels. I knew that I have to unjump myself, so I counterattacked with my hammer draws, as always, like I do, and used the bulldoze to position everything properly. So with that, I managed to kill, and with the help of artillery, I managed to kill his whole unit of these assassins, and also one of the solos. I get Moros to 1 box only, but bulldoze him away, so he was not in melee range. And I also, with my other gun bunnies, I positioned and shoot the sentinels in such a way that I had a chance to really make a good spray with my spray bunny and managed to kill like 4 sentinels and 2 mage hunters with 1 spray. So it was really a strong turn for me. At the end of this turn, he had like maybe 2 sentinels left in the trench. I think 1 solo, and he had also Iris, and it was Iris in the trench also. and 2 heavy jacks, and I lost almost, I think, nothing. And I built up my wall again in front of Ostrom, moving as far away as possible from the Phoenix, because I know he could just go over my army and kill my caster. And this is what he does. Even though I managed to jam with some of my hammer dwarves the Phoenix, he gets the 3 strikes and charges away from my hammer dwarves, and I didn't do nothing. Honestly, I think it just crippled his shield, but not much. Maybe I just put some damage into the shield. He charges one of my gun bunnies that I positioned not in the correct way, and then starts to sidestepping towards my caster. And he kills this gun bunny in front of my caster and starts swinging at my caster. And I'm really getting, of course, Phoenix has a psychic touch on him, so everything is lower armor. And I'm getting starting to sweat. He puts like 7 damage on my caster and finishes the round. I know that I have to finish and he also charges in sentinels into my gun bunnies to get bigger hole into my line. The remaining 2. But I fitted, so he didn't manage to finish the gun bunny. So I lost like 1 or 2 gun bunnies to the Phoenix and Sentinels, and I got the broken line and also in front of the Phoenix. So I bulldoze away the Phoenix, and I start to shoot with everything at him, and I run with and charge with my hammer dwarves into him, and I managed to kill him once. Of course, he revives because he has a Phoenix protocols, and I don't have grievous wounds in this list. Yeah, and this is what I do. And I kill him again, and he has just 1 box left when he survives. Okay, I camp everything. I know that I have to camp everything because I will be dead if I don't camp. So I just upkeep the fire for effect to shoot at Phoenix, and the rest is dropped. So I got 5 focus camped. And I finished the Sentinels. Also, I managed to kill the Iris. So he has he has Disco, he has Phoenix in 1 box, and his caster, honestly. And I have most of my army, but my caster is standing in front of his jack. And what he does...
Not a good place to be in.
No, and I couldn't move away because I would get a 3 strike. There was some hectic position, and I made the mistake because I killed with my caster one of the Sentinels, and this brought me closer to his line, and it was a big mistake that almost cost me a game that was otherwise won. So he decides he kills his own Phoenix to get a hole, to get opening, and then charges in with his Elara into my caster. But I survived with my full camp on 1 box and on fire because of the Phoenix. And I don't have any focus left, so it's all on 1 roll. If I want to roll 1 and 2, I won because Elara is sitting in front of my lines, all my whole army. If I roll 3 or more, then I'm getting fire damage, and I don't have any focus camp, so I cannot use any focus to remove damage. So if he rolls high enough...
okay. He could have rolled also poorly on damage.
Yeah, but I roll 1, so the fire went out, I win. He rolls the damage just to see, and he rolls BoxCars.
Nice.
So, but anyway, he concedes before, so I would really have killed her, no problem, with my caster and everything else. So I'm 3-1, and we decide to go to eat, and this is a really funny thing, because after, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, they give because they only... at the end of the tournament, they give only the results for the top 4. And because I lost, the only game that I lost was against the guy that was playing in the final. It was Tom Guan and lost. After 2 weeks, they put the results on the website, and it seems that I finished 4th. So I'm really, really happy. And if we didn't go to it, then maybe I had a chance to play in the other final. But I think they didn't find me and took somebody else. This
is the only thing I think that they should do better next year, to have each round
live results.
I think that nowadays all the tournaments that we run or we are participating in Poland, they have live results put out every round.
Yeah, because we can advertise our own system. We use the tournekeeper.com system that allows you to put results with your phone, and you can check all the standings all the time because they are live in the internet. So it's really good that there is no problem with SOS, I mean SOS, or whatever you call it, the strength of schedule, because you can see it at all times. And usually in the tournament, when the strength of schedule is really something like a secret, because you know how many points you've got, you know how many games you won, but this strength of schedule is really hard to calculate, so you're never sure what place you would take. But with tournekeeper.com, you can just see it all the time. It's always in the internet, so it's really nice.
Exactly. So this is the thing that I will ask them to
use
next year. That maybe will be better to.
So.
Yeah.
All in all, I think it was a great tournament. We decided to go next year for sure, because it's really nice venue, and I think we are quite happy. You got really good at LCQ, and I got really good at Masters. So at the end, I think we are both happy.
For two beginners, not playing, not even a whole year, so it was a very good job done, I think. And
I think you were 5th or 6th in the LCQ, by the way, because they also posted the results. So it was really good.
That's nice. Okay, so. Then the next day we didn't. There was only invitational going on. We didn't take part in anything because we wanted to go home around 11. So I was streaming with one of the games. So I told them that I cannot stream the one game in the morning and then I have to leave. But page 5 DE, they stayed the whole invitational, so they have all the games from the whole day, including the finals. But we stayed around for that round to watch also some games going on, and it was interesting to see the top level players playing their best. It was really fun to watch.
And we saw, I think, and the funniest game was Mercs against Karchev with Mad Dog Spam, and we thought it was Galleon, the standard Galleon, Bartolo, and Snapjaw and Rongai and some jacks, no jacks, just additional solos, Kayaze Eliminators and Privateer Cannon, and that was all. And we thought that Mad Dogs are easily winning that on scenario, whatever, because he cannot kill fast enough the Mad Dogs and the rest of his army. But it was really funny to watch because he made a mistake. And he countercharged Karchev in such a way that he could have been pulled by the drag from the galleon, and this is what happened. And even though the Bartolo was losing on attrition and on scenario, because of his mistake, he moved him forward and got the drag from the galleon, and into smacks he finished the Karchev, and it was really like a silver lining. Maybe last game this guy with the galleon got against Karchev before the nerf. So
yeah, but remember when we told that the final roll ends on 7+? It was actually I don't remember the exact amount that his assassin has to roll.
He had. Yeah, because he had to finish him with the last shot, because he didn't kill him with Galleon. Yeah. He had to use his whole army to finish the Karchev, and he managed this with last shot. Yeah, I remember, from Iris or something like that, right?
It was Iris, and he needed that 3 auto damage to kill Karchev, and it was just one roll. She hits, and then he's dead. And if he didn't hit, then Karchev leaves, and he's in trouble. So.
Yeah, because Bartolo was also in the front, so it was really fun. The funniest game I think I saw from the ones in the Invitational.
Big shout out to Jarle. I read his blog a lot.
We both
Courage of Caspia, and I seeing him play Haley 2 versus Sloan. It was really a nice game. He played very aggressively, and he deserved the win of Invitational because he's a really top players. Yeah,
our colleague from Poland that was playing against Jarle in I think round 3 or 2. He lost to Jarle, but even Jarle told that he was quite unlucky because he had like 75% of assassination on Hadley, but he didn't manage to. Some bad dice rolls finished him, and he lost, I think, on scenario. So it was really close, but I think that Ostrom is quite a good drop against Signar usually. If it's not, of course, Haley 3 with the Cloud Wall. Yeah, we don't like that.
Nobody likes Cloud Wall. I don't know why.
Nobody except
Hayley. Nobody plays Hayley.
Religion.
I think she needs a buff. I think that in January she will get a buff because
in America nobody plays Ostrom. He needs a buff too.
Alright. So I think that's a cast. We didn't mention that there was a very good food, or did we, at the convention?
Yeah, but it was really good food. Yeah,
but the problem
and a lot of choice. I mean, you could get everything. Really different taste of meats and so on.
The problem eating during the tournament, the lunch, I could not eat too much because I was so into the games that I really didn't want to eat. I just wanted to go back and play.
Yeah, my last game against Lara was like almost a heart attack when I got this final roll and they rolled one, and it was really I was not hungry at all after the game. Exactly. Okay, so that's a wrap, I think.
Thank you for listening to BoxCars. I hope you liked it. See you soon.